Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Deadhorses and DDTs. Yes, we have a name now. We put it up as episode 1, but when we recorded, we didn't. So we're here. We're ready. We don't have Zach with us this week. He is having some technical difficulties. So we're going to be talking Fyter Fest Day 2 and Fight for the Fallen, which was tonight. Let's start with Fyter Fest Night 2. How'd you feel about it?
Thought it was a great show as always. AEW is just giving us great events week after week, especially being out on the road. You can tell they're doing it big. Yeah, I mean we can just get right into it if that's okay with you. Obviously the Nick Gage announcement was huge, and we're gonna get more into that. Yeah, obviously as we start to talk about Fight for the Fallen, as it was tonight as we're recording this. Some of my favorite moments, even just small things. I've seen it all over social media. The Sting and Orange Cassidy exchange during the was it Darby and Wheeler Yuta match where they were both doing the Orange Cassidy kicks was fucking hilarious.
As Wheeler and him just look on, yeah, that was funny.
Another one of my favorite moments was the Eddie Guerrero flop by Britt Baker. The holding up the championship belt and then throwing it to Nyla Rose and falling and trying to get her DQ'd. That was a great throwback. I love to see that.
Right in front of his wife too. That was a beautiful little shot at her. So it was nice. Well, not shot, probably more of a I know your husband more than the person you're, representing, I guess.
Yep. Yeah, you're probably right.
So it was cool. That was cool.
No, that was great.
Not a dig. That's the wrong word.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah, no, I mean both of those were cool. What was your favorite, you think?
My favorite match of the night. I mean, I don't want to just say the main event every week, but how can it not be Moxley versus Archer?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
It was so good. It
I
was
was
so
thinking the
good.
same thing.
No, it was absolutely great. Lance Archer gets the win in his hometown, takes back his belt, and we talked about how Moxley is always great to watch, and that match was yeah, everything I wanted it to be and more. I would say that the Blade versus Orange Cassidy was a close second for me. Orange Cassidy, another one that just puts on a great show every time. Super fun to watch. And I thought it was actually a really good solo showing for the Blade, which obviously they're giving him a lot of while the Butcher is away. I thought it was a good push and a good kind of spotlight for him, even though he didn't walk away with the win.
Yeah, I was just gonna bring that up. That was probably my favorite match of the night, honestly. The Jon Moxley Lance Archer probably would have been, but you know me, big Jon Moxley guy, didn't like seeing him lose. The Orange Cassidy versus the Blade match, man, that corkscrew pile driver, only getting 2 for the Blade. I thought that was gonna be his big breakthrough. Didn't happen, and then he misses and gets the orange crush and loses. And it was such a heartbreaker for me. But it was one of those matches that, like you said, Orange Cassidy is so much fun to watch that even watching him beat the Blade, who I absolutely adore since, Buffalo Boys
Yep.
got to represent there. It was still good. It was still good. The Chris Statlander stopping Bunny from interfering, I thought that was cool. Bunny interfering can always get in the way of these matches, I feel.
In a great way. She plays it
Yeah.
so well.
Yeah.
She's so good at it.
It's really good, but I feel like it's holding Blade's solo run back almost. 'Cause you know it's coming. You know it's coming.
That's true.
She's gonna throw you the knuckles. She's gonna distract the ref. She's gonna either make it so you lose, which has happened a lot, or you're gonna cheat and win. And that's that. I think this one was a nice showing of Blade's actual talent versus just cheap shots, if that
Yeah,
makes sense.
totally. Totally.
And then of course you get the orange punch at the end with the brass knuckles and showing Orange Cassidy's little dark side, I guess, if you will.
Yeah, and kind of rounds out the whole, the cheap shots week after week. It kind of,
Yeah.
it brings the revenge element back around. And the moment that it was a great heel moment where Blade kind of feigned injury there and was laying there and the bunny's right there and you thought she was going to give him the knuckles and whatever. And then while while Orange Cassidy is not paying attention or whatever, he just came out of that corner and just beat the hell out of him for a second there, or being a week ago now, I don't remember exactly what he did, but he hit him hard with whatever he did after that, and I thought that lame dog moment was just A1 heel move. It was great.
Yeah, no. And I think as far as you were talking kind of moments, I just remembered this actually because it didn't hit me hard at the time. I was very tired. But I rewatched and it hit me hard the second time was Chavo Guerrero showing up.
That's on my list of things to talk about. Yep.
It's just you brought up Britt Baker kind of throwing it back to Eddie, having his nephew in the ring with Andrade, trying to get something going with Pac and the Death Triangle. Not really sure what's going to happen there. I'm excited for it. Obviously, I'm assuming you're going to get some sort of match between
Yeah.
them. I don't know if
Yeah.
Chavo's going to wrestle. I hope he does.
That was what I wanted to say about it was right now the way they're building that rivalry is it's Death Triangle versus Andrade and
Yeah.
who rounds out that 6-man 3-on-3.
Well, I think it's gonna be more of a, Andrade trying to convince Death Triangle that he's worthy of them, because he was trying to get them to join him
Yeah.
and let him be, like, their leader, which obviously got on Pac's nerves. Yeah, I don't we don't have a leader. We're
Mhm.
all one.
Mhm.
They don't work for me, I don't work for them type of attitude that he has. But between Chavo coming back, but being there
Mhm.
and Penta coming back, it was just so huge. I've missed Penta.
Ray Phoenix.
Oh, did I say Penta? Yeah, Ray
Yeah.
Phoenix coming back. Ray Phoenix coming back. Penta's been doing his thing. Yeah, Ray Phoenix coming back with Penta and Pac being there was just great. Lucha Bros had a nice match on Monday at Elevation. It was just so beautiful to see them together again. Hopefully they get a nice little nice push. Nice push. We
Yeah.
kind of talked about it a little bit with tag teams kind of coming back into the picture.
Yeah.
They were hitting it hard in the beginning and not really since. So hopefully we get a little more of that.
I have the rankings pulled up, for a couple talking points that I want to make, but I don't see it being hard for Lucha Bros to climb back up the rankings and maybe make a push towards the titles because you've got Varsity Blondes sitting in the number one spot right now, which when you look at the other people that have fought the Young Bucks, I don't. Not that I don't like the Varsity Blondes, I just don't see a storyline where they take the titles from the Young Bucks after everything else we've seen as of late. And then it's the Acclaimed, Private Party, FTR, Santana, and Ortiz. So like, no reason that now that Ray is back that the Lucha Brothers can't make a decent push. And I don't know, maybe we see them heading for the tag titles.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I mean, we gotta wait for Butcher to come back and see where all that goes. But I felt like there was just a lot of injury in the tag team department, and obviously them doing the whole inner circle pinnacle thing, dragging that out.
Mm-hmm.
It had to have been more of just we need to do something. Everybody's hurt. There's a pandemic. We're not on the road. It's tough to get everybody to come down to Florida to do this every week.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully now that they're traveling again, we can get some more in and get that going because they have such a talented tag team division between Butcher and the Blade, probably the lowest on that list, honestly. And
Mm-hmm.
still, like as far as the mainstream ones, and still just a phenomenal group. RC Blondes, like you said, don't really have a storyline right now, which is strange because they are the number one contender, but not being treated like it.
Yeah, totally, totally. I
Yeah.
mean, maybe we'll see something in the coming weeks. I don't know. That surprised me. Like I'm looking at the rankings fresh as we're talking here, and that was not who I expected to see on the top of that list.
Yeah, I knew they were up there. I didn't realize they were at the top, but
Yeah, they're
maybe,
16-4 right now.
kind of getting into it, maybe the events of tonight's match. I don't know if we want to get into it right away. Everything that happened with Dark Order
Oh, we
losing
can
tonight.
we can go
Um,
through it. I think we've covered Fighter Fest night 2 pretty well.
Yeah, okay. So Dark Order, giant 10-man tag team match, elimination style, of course, which was phenomenal. I don't know why, but I completely forgot that it was going to be elimination style.
Me too. 100%.
I don't know how else they would have done it, but was happy to see it that way. But that takes them out of the picture of getting the tag team titles or having the shot at it,
Yep.
which I thought was weird in the first place to give them that title, but I wanted Hangman to get the title shot.
Yeah, I didn't see a way in which I was excited to see it just to see where they took it and see which
Yeah,
which tag team out of the Dark Order they would put in that slot. But then obviously this is what we're working towards is the shocker that Hangman doesn't walk away with the win in absolute unexpected fashion.
yeah, which we both, I think, were in shock. We streamed it once again, twitch.tv/2 Force Gaming, linked everywhere that this is. We streamed it again, and I think we both just sat there and stared because it was not what we had expected. We expected Adam Page to kind of get his title shot, and maybe he does still, who knows? But who else do you see getting that shot that's ranked? You know what I mean? You got him, which he just lost tonight, so I don't know if that pushes him out.
That was the stipulation was that
Yeah.
he gives up his shot I think at Kenny, or does he give up his I think he gives up his ranking actually is what it is. He gives up that number 1 spot. So
Yeah, he's gonna fight it back.
that puts Jungle Boy back at 1 again. Again, I'm sitting here staring at the rankings.
Which, Jungle Boy already had his shot, though. I don't know that they give him another one, or if they do an eliminate. I would almost like to see an elimination tournament like they're doing with the women's.
Yeah,
It's short for them. I think it's just one match. Who is it? It's Thunder Rosa. Or no, it's Bunny and
Layla
no,
Hirsch.
Layla Hirsch. Yeah, Layla Hirsch for the chance to do the women's title,
Mhm.
which is next week. But I don't know. I don't know what they do. It was a shocker, and that's good. That's good. I don't like it being completely predictable.
You don't want complete predictability. Yeah, I mean, we talked through the last stream we did. We talked through the last episode, the first episode of the podcast, all about how like there's no way that Hangman doesn't get that shot with all that buildup, and they totally turned the tables on us, and Kenny Omega pinned him for the win. I'm excited to see where that whole thing leads.
I'm so sick of it.
Well, and that's what I was just gonna say. That's how many times that Kenny just keeps,
Just keeps it.
I get it. I'm here for it. I'm happy for it. I'm interested to see where they're going to take it because they've completely pulled a 180 on where I thought they were going to go. So
Yeah, I love Kenny Omega. I hate this Kenny Omega. This ego is just driving me nuts. But
I get it.
I can say the same thing with the Young Bucks. I love that whole team. I just absolutely adore them. But they're so hateable.
Yeah,
They're so hateable right now, which is part of it.
I totally agree. Obviously, I didn't know the Bucks or Omega previously before I picked up watching AEW, but I came in right before this era kind of started that like the Bucks were kind of having this identity crisis with like not siding with Kenny and they even did that tag match against him, which was eventually when they flipped and jumped into the personas that they're in now. And
Yeah.
Kenny was in this persona already when I came in, I guess, obviously, but the Bucks were kind of transitioning into that, and I totally agree. I feel like I knew them not as this for like a week or two, and I'm still like, man, I hate these guys. I mean, I
Yeah,
love
right.
them, hate this persona. You know what I mean?
Well, the whole thing is when this all started, the Elite was supposed to be like the good guys, you know?
Yeah.
They were fighting the Inner Circle all the time. It was like a big deal. And then Kenny Omega won the title, and it just went downhill from there as far as his ego goes and his just attitude. He turned heel real quick, which is absolutely cool. He can do anything. He can do absolutely anything, but I'm excited to see where they take that because I just don't see unless you bring in somebody new, but you're not going to do Malachi Black, you're not going to do Cody Rhodes.
Yep.
Obviously, there's the rumors of CM Punk and the rumors of Bryan Danielson,
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan from WWE. We'll see where that goes.
I wanted to talk about that actually because
Sure, well, let's step into it.
I don't I don't mean to come at everything with the I haven't watched wrestling in X amount of years thing, but I haven't watched wrestling in X amount of years.
Yeah,
So I know of CM Punk and I know of Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan. I'm familiar with the names. I know they were big guys in AEW. I
WWE.
Yeah, what did I say? AEW? I'm just
Yeah,
on a train here. Yes, WWE. Thank you. They were big guys in WWE. Um, I'd like to take a moment to shout out Wrestle with Andy on YouTube. He does great backstories and documentaries kind of leading up to whatever point that he's making the video of wrestlers and their careers. So I watched his piece on CM Punk and his piece on Daniel Bryan, just trying to get some background. And in that, it was obviously made before this whole Bryan Danielson has signed a contract with AEW rumor. But he said in it that the last time Bryan Danielson got into the ring after being out because they said he wasn't going to be able to do it again because of injury or whatever, he said that that was going to be his last bout and they were expecting him to step into a like management or GM role of some kind on WWE. So I'm curious what your thoughts are on where he lands here in AEW. I mean, I guess we have no way of knowing just until it happens, assuming all the contract rumors and everything are true. But yeah, what do you think about that before we dive into even CM Punk? Just talking about him.
So Brian is he was one of my favorite wrestlers until his recent time with WWE. I watched him actually. I started watching him in Ring of Honor in like the early 2000s. I don't even remember when exactly it was, but he was world championship there for a little while. I don't even remember what it was, but I think it was the very first Survival of the Fittest tournament is what I watched, and he had taken that. But he signed with WWE. I was still watching WWE at that point. I think it was probably right before I graduated high school, so probably 2009, 2010 in that area, and immediately was fired or left, however you want to do it. Came back, won a ton of stuff all in a very short period of time, and then he retired in 2016. Just won a ton of stuff. It looked like he was never going to leave. He was like, I don't even know who to put him in with because he was his own person. He just had this persona about him that just was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But he ended up having concussion issues that led to seizures, and then he had a brain lesion, and it was bad. It was
Mm-hmm.
career ending. He came back 2019, I think.
Yep, that's as I remember from the thing I just watched. That sounds accurate.
Yeah, 2018, 2019, somewhere in there, and was fully cleared. Did this whole vegan, like,
Yeah, the hemp belt I saw, that was a
yeah, he did the hemp belt, which was kind of cool.
I'm all for eco-friendly, man. Say we gotta leave the earth
Yeah,
better than
yeah,
we found it, but it's just a funny thing to see.
it was cool.
It feels like something that like somebody trying to break in that's wrestling like the first match of the night in WWE, like a gimmick trying to get. Anyway,
Yes, exactly, exactly.
we're derailing the train a little here, but
No, 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 that's exactly where I wanted to go with it, is it felt like he was starting over. You've had WWF before it was even WWE you were in. You did New Japan as American Dragon. You did Ring of Honor. You worked your way back to WWE. You've won every title there is. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do this dumb gimmick. And veganism, I guess, was a big part of it. He like I don't know if he was actually vegan and helped, but that was his whole thing. It was him and Eric Rowan, and they were vegan and just beating up on everybody that ate meat. It was just very dumb.
yeah.
There's a pay-per-view. I don't remember which one it was, but they had their own special burger for the pay-per-view event,
Oh,
like the stadium did, and he came out and he was like, I don't remember if he was in the headline or whatever it was, but he came out. He was, "Oh, you want to do a burger? That's so disrespectful to me." Da 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 da. Like, no, dude, come on. It was very dumb. So I didn't enjoy it. So I hope where I'm going with this is I hope when he's here, it's just old Brian Danielson. I want the American Dragon back. I want the guy I saw in Ring of Honor. I want just the guy who's striving to be the best. He had a ton of matches with CM Punk
yeah.
that were just phenomenal matches, and I hope that's where they go with it. But it seems from tonight that Darby Allin might be CM Punk's first bout.
Which makes sense. I could see that.
Yeah, yeah, for
Um
sure.
Yeah, I don't think that's a huge. I mean, but going totally just off of gut feeling, I feel like it's probably not a huge ask to get old school Brian Danielson a little bit because I think that's kind of generally what I mean, we talked about a little on live stream tonight that that's a little bit of what you're getting in AEW is it's a little bit of the old school, and it's not pandering to a younger crowd. It's pandering to people like us. I mean, you know what I mean? That's target demographic in
Yeah.
their front office for sure. So I don't think that's a huge ask that you'll get some more of what Brian Danielson once was, assuming he comes back in as a wrestler, which I guess I don't know why he wouldn't. I'm just going off of what I saw that he said that last run was his last in the ring. So I'm curious. We'll see. I don't know. It's exciting.
No, I think he'll definitely come back as a wrestler. He left, or he hasn't left WWE, just nobody's heard from him
Hmm.
or seen him in months. So nobody really knows what's going on. But going into CM Punk, they came into the wrestling pretty much the same time, and they've had a lot of matches against each other. They do well together, so I'm excited to see just hopefully one more match of that at least.
Yeah.
But I just hope he doesn't try any, and it seems like the only real gimmick that AEW is doing right now is Big Money Matt. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that with Matt Hardy.
Yeah.
I think he's injured, and I think that's a whole thing, but we'll see. We'll see what they do with that. But yeah, that's another story for another day. I'm just excited. Obviously, CM Punk is a huge name. Daniel Bryanson, Daniel Bryanson, yeah, Brian Danielson.
I've done that so many times.
It's so easy because obviously he wrestles under Daniel Bryan, so it's like,
Yeah. Thanks, Vince McMahon.
yeah, thank you, sir. Which is just so weird and dumb, but
I keep seeing that a ton in all these things I'm watching that like he you can come with a name that is known and he's like, "Cool, we're not calling you that anymore."
yep, yep.
It's fucking wild. Anyway.
It's insane. He wants your success to be on him, and that's it, which is just something that's killed him time and time and time again. But that's once again, I don't want this podcast to just be shitting on Vince McMahon, but
No, it's not a WWE bashing thing, but
it's so hard not to at this moment
yeah.
in WWE. I did want to probably towards the end talk a little bit about I watch, like I said, pay-per-view for WWE. I will go into it a little bit, but it was pretty lackluster, so it's not much to talk about. But yeah, I mean, I guess let's get off the CM Punk. We don't really know if this rumor is true. We're assuming.
No, but we're thinking we were thinking All Out would be his debut. The big announcement tonight indicated maybe it'll be Rampage in Chicago. I mean,
The first dance.
yeah, the first dance, thank you. Yeah, they're building that up, and then Darby ends it with you might whatever you might even say you're the best in the world or whatever, and the promo cuts away. So yeah, pretty. You don't have to read between the lines hard there. I think it's there's a pretty clear indication of what they're pointing towards. So we'll see if it's the pay per view, if it's the. I hope it's better than Christian Cage's debut where he comes out, doesn't say shit, and walks away.
Yeah. No, I think it will
The
be.
guy
With
who
it
cut
being,
the fucking pipe bomb promo better have something to say.
yeah, right. I think with it being called the first dance, it's going to be a fight. Like it's gonna be a wrestling match.
Yeah.
Um, I just don't know. It could be anybody. Like, has CM Punk said he's the best in the world? Yeah. Has Daniel Bryan said he's the best in the world? Yeah. Has every wrestler of all time said that they're the best in the world? Yeah.
Oh, for sure, sure. Wasn't it like on his like walkout shirt or something though on Punk's? I thought
He did.
maybe I'm drawing conclusions, but that's where I'm landing. We'll
He
see.
did say he was the best in the world. He did, like, he famously won the title and then retired with it.
Yeah.
It's just something he did, he didn't like working for Vince McMahon and just wanted to throw it in his face, but I don't know. I don't know.
We'll see.
But I want him for sure because that was just I remember I think my favorite match. Can't I don't even know if you can call it a match, but he cashed in his Money in the Bank contract.
Hmm.
Jeff Hardy and Edge had this phenomenal ladder match, absolutely insane. Jeff Hardy won it, has the title, just won the title. It was his new title, and Punk comes out, cashes in, and wins.
That is one of my favorite things that WWE has going, even as somebody who just like, catches things that I read wherever for a long time. The Money in the Bank idea is gold, and it can set up so many great moments like that.
Yeah.
I mean, how it just happened after this last Money in the Bank pay-per-view. I don't know anybody's name, but the girl with the blue mask came out and did it to, I think, Charlotte Flair. I'm speaking totally out
Yep.
of turn
No,
because I
that's right.
don't watch WWE and I have no idea. But yeah, that is something that WWE has just that's one of the best things in modern like wrestling ideas. I would say that Money in the Bank is a great thing, and it sets up for great moments like that, I guess is what I'm getting at.
Good old Chris Jericho created that. I don't know if you knew that.
Did he really?
Yep, he was
I did not.
one of the creators in 2010. But while you're on that, because that's more of what I wanted to get into is I love Money in the Bank so much, and that was the pay-per-view that just happened.
Hmm.
My God, are they so bad at women's promotions? Every year, the women's title is won by the Money in the Bank on the same night as Money in the Bank. It's just, I want it. I'm cashing in right now or very soon. The men's goes a full year. They don't cash in for months, just months. Like they use it as storyline because why wouldn't you? That's Mr. Money in the Bank. Oh, that's a big deal. Oh, he's gonna cash in whenever he wants to. Well, why are you doing this? Just do the same thing with the women. Just let it go or switch it up a little bit. Just
Yeah.
switch it up.
Yeah, that's weird.
That Charlotte Flair wins it again, and then Nikki Cross comes out, opens it up, or Nikki ASH, almost superhero, however she's going now.
Is that really what it stands for? I did
Yeah,
see Nikki
ASH
Ash or whatever,
is
no, ASH.
almost superhero. Which she's great. Nikki Cross is phenomenal. She's a great wrestler. She deserves this. Hopefully, she holds on to it for a very long time. The headlining match of Money in the Bank was Edge. You know me,
Hmm.
love
Hmm.
my boy Edge, and Roman Reigns.
Yep.
If 5 years ago, 10 years ago, you showed me Edge and Roman Reigns, I'm telling you, this is going to be one of the best matches of all time at a pay per view as a headliner. They spent about 15 minutes just trading blows in the most lackluster event I've ever seen in my life. There's about 5 minutes of it that was good, and then Seth Rollins comes out, kicks Edge, makes him lose, and Roman Reigns retains the championship.
That's upsetting.
It was the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. I am going back to just WrestleMania. I'm done. AEW for life.
Uh, and then of and then of course the big storyline that they were setting up for beyond that was the return of John Cena
Yeah.
once again.
Yeah.
I Even if I were a hardcore WWE fan, I feel like I would be like, John Cena again?
You know what?
Really?
John Cena, I'm gonna instantly take back my WrestleMania only. I'm gonna watch the next one because John Cena's gonna be in it. John Cena never really got the chance outside of the PG era. Like they famously went to PG only, and it was very kid friendly. He never really got the chance, and now that they're back to TV 14, I'm excited. I'm excited. He's in great shape. He's got terrible hair,
Yep.
but great shape. I'm excited for him. I think it'll be good.
He's a walking action figure, is what he is.
Oh, dude, he's insane. I think they change his gimmick, hopefully. The
Yeah.
"You can't see me" is getting a little old.
It's funny that you talk about really most of his career up to this point has been through the PG era, and I didn't think about that because the first memory I have of John Cena was towards the end of me watching wrestling, I think, but it's when he was a heel and feuding with Brock Lesnar.
Yeah,
And what I wanted to bring up, just because he returned, it's not related to him returning, but it's totally related to what we're talking about. The fact that his career has been in the PG era is that finisher of his, that Death Valley Driver or whatever they call it, the attitude adjustment. Well, when I was watching last, and last I remember of John Cena, Brock Lesnar had the F5 where he would throw you up on his shoulders and drop you. And so John Cena's response to that was that move, but it was called the FU. And obviously in the PG era, they're not going to do that. So I wanted to bring that up, that was funny to me that I saw something about Cena after he returned. I was watching it and how they call that the attitude adjustment. And I was like, that's the FU to me, pal.
Yeah, right? No, I'm excited for him. I will watch it. I hate them bringing back old wrestlers. If they're wrestling consistently, I'm okay with it.
You know who had a big problem with it? CM Punk,
Yeah, well,
famously.
as he should have.
I saw this. This was something I just wanted to bring up. Something I saw scrolling through Instagram on the Explore page. Let's shout out Kings Road Wrestling real quick, because I thought they put out a great opinion that I wanted to share just while we're talking about AEW and WWE. It says this is Kings Road Wrestling at Kings Road Wrestling on Instagram. Opinion: AEW is the hottest mainstream promotion, and it's not even close. I believe that night at, I think it's supposed to say night two. I believe that night two at Fyter Fest truly showed why AEW is in a league of its own. The show showcased indie talent while elevating their homegrown stars, let the legends shine, gave us a taste of lucha libre, deathmatch, and a word I'm not going to try to pronounce because I'm going to butcher it. Made sure we saw how important their partnerships with Impact and New Japan are, all while giving us top notch storylines. AEW is wrestling at its very best.
Yeah, I can agree heavily with that. I mean, that's part of why I enjoy it. I started rewatching WCW Nitro, and don't ask why, but I did. Um, and that was what I missed about it, is it was hard hitting.
Mm-hmm.
You constantly had new talent coming through, even if it was one match that came through, and it was always some sort of like surprising match that you're like, oh my god, this is a mid card match, and this could be a headliner. This is a phenomenal match, and you get that every week with AEW.
Mm-hmm.
You get it every week. Tony Schiavone's got a beard now, so it's a little bit different, but otherwise, it's so good.
Yeah.
They are actually, as far as ratings go, hitting between 18 and 34. So, adults,
Mm-hmm.
they are the number one
Yeah.
wrestling promotion right now.
Yeah. Not shocking.
WWE still got the boomers and they still got the kids. We'll see what happens. I don't know if they're gonna stick with PG, or if they're gonna go back and just stick with kids. It's not a bad move. It's not a bad move at all.
No, no. I guess if that's what you want to be, then do that.
Yeah. You're gonna have to just change your time.
That's obviously not what AEW is shooting for.
No, no, AEW is
When you
shooting
have
for
Nick Gage
exactly what they're
smashing light bulbs over Chris Jericho's head on a Wednesday night.
trying. Yeah, pizza cutting his head open and, the whole 9, which I gotta say, I thought about it a little bit since we watched it, and it's on TV, so I can't be too upset about it, but damn, that was lackluster.
Yeah,
I I wanted more. I wanted more.
yeah, I get it. It's everything I expect it to be on a Wednesday night on network television. Pay-per-view, maybe they could have done something a little more, but
Yeah.
I I don't disagree with what you're saying. I will say, I who doesn't love Chris Jericho at this point in his career? He's done so much. He's great. My respect went even further beyond for him after tonight, just to get in the ring with a guy like Nick Gage at his age, however old Chris Jericho is, and be taking a pizza cutter to the face and light bulbs over the head and power bombed or pile drive down the glass, whatever it was. I mean, I think that match was everything it could be in the situation. I don't disagree with you that I would have loved to see more, but I don't know if they could have gotten away with it, I guess.
Here's what I'm hoping, and they have to do Nick Gage justice. You can't have him come on live TV and lose. You can't do it. I'm hoping they give him a pay-per-view match with Matt Cardona, who just beat him for the GCW championship,
Okay.
Game Changer Wrestling.
Yep.
Bring that out. You've done countless other promotion belts. Bring that in just a mid-card match, make him do a death match, and give him that redemption at a pay-per-view. For his own belt, just get his belt back. That's all you need. And then let it go. Just let it go.
Yeah.
Don't try to bring him back on TV. As much as I love Nick Gage, he's not a TV wrestler.
No, he's not a TV wrestler. Absolutely not.
He's too real.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we were talking about it, if you're Jericho or Aubrey standing in the ring with him tonight, you're kind of like, I don't feel as good about this as I should right now, just because
Yeah, when's he
that's
gonna snap? When's he gonna snap?
yeah, because he's done it, and that's fine. That's who he is, and that's what makes him great. One thing I wanted to talk about, you were talking a minute ago about how uh, AEW is just giving great matches week after week, et cetera, et cetera. And I totally agree. From the jump, the first match every Wednesday is great. I mean, it's a huge thing. It could be, a co-main event later on in the night. But one thing that I think maybe they're falling short on, or maybe building up to something, and we just haven't seen it yet, is when are they going to give Miro a real challenger for the TNT title? Because next week he's fighting what, Lee
Lee
Johnson,
Johnson, yeah.
which, like, great mid card. He's part of the Nightmare Factory family, whatever, right? Yeah, like, but he's not going to win that. So, like,
Yeah.
when are we going to get a great challenger to Miro? Because he hasn't had one since he beat Darby for that, I would say.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. So the Lee Johnson thing was a elevation match. AEW just put out their app, a game called AEW Elite Manager.
Yeah, I've been playing it. I wanted to talk about that too.
I have to. It's fun. It's very fun.
It's
But I
fun.
guess when they first dropped it, there was a tournament. The kid won it, and they let him choose a wrestler to fight Lee Johnson to get the
So
chance.
here I am talking shit about some kid that I am clearly just calling stupid. Okay, got it.
No, 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 no. Lee Johnson was the challenger, or was the person who wanted to challenge Miro. The kid got to choose, and I say kid. The guy had a beard, so he was very clearly not a kid. But got to pick the challenger for Lee Johnson to fight. Whoever won got the shot. He
Okay.
picked Luther. Luther and Lee Johnson fought. Lee Johnson won. He gets the title shot.
Okay.
I don't know where they're gonna go with it. I'm assuming that's gonna be more of a look at. I don't even know. I don't even know who they're gonna let take that on.
One of the new faces, maybe.
Maybe,
Maybe
maybe.
make a push. I don't
I
know.
didn't like Miro taking it in the first place. I didn't think it fit. I didn't think he deserved it. But
I kind of thought we'd see Darby make a push back for it, but it seems like it's not going that way, which is fine.
I think Darby is above the TNT championship, if that makes sense. I think Darby needs to push for the big boy championship.
Yep. Sure.
Not the TNT championship isn't great, but it's not the world championship. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, tonight was great. I enjoyed every match. Thunder Rosa,
Big push for Thunder Rosa. That's exactly. See, same page. We were talking about that, and she is sitting at number one on the rankings right now. So I mean, there's no secret to where that's building
she's
very
she's getting
soon.
I almost guarantee that it's going to be her versus Britt Baker at All Out.
All out. You think they'll drag it out till the pay per view? That's what? Isn't that the beginning of September?
Yeah, September 6th, so it's not too far. Because they're still doing the Nyla Rose thing right now, so they're gonna give her another shot. They're gonna keep going. It's gonna go back and forth for a few weeks, and then
Well, and we've got like we talked about earlier, the Bunny and Layla Hirsch thing looming
yeah,
on the horizon next week.
yeah,
So, which we think what Layla Hirsch, even though we want it to be the Bunny.
Layla Hirsch.
I just want to see the Bunny get a tight. Britt Baker is that kind of lovable heel, and Bunny is just that great,
Psychotic.
like, escaped from a
Yeah,
mental ward heel. Yeah. So, like, I think that would be fun to see, but I think you're right. We're gonna see Layla Hirsch, but you know what? We said the same thing about Hangman Page. So
yep. We've been wrong before, like saying that the Malachi Black and Cody Rhodes match was last week instead of next week. So sorry about that,
Yep.
listeners. All 7 of you.
Listener, I mean, you and I listened to it 6 times combined.
Well,
So.
it tells you actually how many people listen to it and how many total plays. So, wasn't us.
Ooh.
What's up? Yeah, so we'll cut it out now unless you've got something else.
No, you know what? I want to mention one thing last. Cody Rhodes shoes.
Oh, those are beautiful.
That's the last thing They were great.
I need a
I'm
pair.
jealous. And on that, we can close.
Let's close there. We'll be back in 2 weeks for episode 3. Thank you so much for listening. Once again, take a look at our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/2forcegaming. This podcast is everywhere you can listen to podcasts except for Apple Podcasts, which will be coming within the next week or two. They just take a little bit longer to get in on. Spotify, share, like, subscribe, and yeah, just thanks for stopping by. We'll see you in a few weeks.
Thanks for listening. Goodbye. Oh shit. Fuck, what was I gonna say? Oh, cut that part out.
Keep it.